least this week, and it was pretty clear and it was pretty easy to pick a main event, was the obvious game of the week, the Sunday night football game, the rematch of the AFC Championship game from a year ago. The Bills will be traveling into Arrowhead to face the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City currently is a 3-point favorite going into this one. You know, I talked about it with my Braves and Brewers preview, but this is a game I went back and forth on a lot as well, because in my mind, I just out the gate gave the Chiefs the benefit of the doubt. I was all in on the Chiefs. And then you really start to pick apart the Chiefs defense and some of the statistics here, and they are ugly, man. They have allowed the second most points, second most yards per game in the NFL. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, the Bills have just been dominant through these last 3 weeks. Yes, they played the Dolphins. They played Washington football team. They played Houston last week. But what I expect a good team to do whenever they face one of those bad teams is blow them out. And they have not disappointed. They've done everything that they need to do against those teams. It doesn't feel like the Broncos, where they still kind of let those teams be in the game. No, the Bills have just been going in and kicking ass. So I think the Bills, with their extra versatility on offense, they have a little bit more of a running game this year than they did last year. Devin Singletary and Zach Moss have actually contributed, which has been a big change in their offense. Dawson Knox seems to be healthy and rolling. And then Emmanuel Sanders was a great acquisition for them, adding that veteran wide receiver there to pair along with Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley. Yeah, I'm actually going with the Bills this week. Bills Mafia. Let's get it. The Chiefs last week, they allowed like Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts to absolutely pick them apart. I wanted them to at least have a good performance against the Eagles, and they just couldn't do that for me. Yeah, I think the Bills cause a lot of issues for Patrick Mahomes this week.
I love that pick. If I'm picking against the spread, I absolutely am picking the Bills Mafia if you're giving me the 3 points. I refuse to bet against Patrick Mahomes, though, so I will take the Chiefs on the straight up pick.
Big week for us. This is going to be one of those weeks where we are very, very unaligned.
Yeah, we could have a massive swing at this point, because I think everyone except the Falcons. I could take the Jets to make it a clean sweep of 6 if I wanted to switch that, but I'm going to stick with the Falcons there if we wanted to do a clean sweep of picking against each other. Fun game here for you. So you mentioned that the Bills have played, the Texans, the Dolphins, the Steelers, and I forgot who the other team they played. Washington is. Those might be the 4 worst offenses in the NFL. Like, it's pretty close. It's not entirely it, but those might be 4 of the worst offenses in the NFL if you throw Jacksonville in the mix. So with that, DVOA takes into account which team, like DVOA is a stat from Football Outsiders that takes into account game situations for defense and offense. So who do you think has the number 1 defense according to DVOA so far this season?
The number 1 defense according to DVOA? Well, I'd have to assume it's one of these 2 teams. I'm going to go with the Bills then.
Yes, the Bills are number 1. The Chiefs are actually 32 in DVOA. They are the worst defense in the NFL according to DVOA. Who do you think has the number 1 offense in the NFL this year according to DVOA?
The Bills.
That is correct. The Buffalo Bills are first in both of those stats, which is unfreaking believable how dominant they've been. I think after the weird loss to the Steelers, they've outscored opponents like 100-16 or something like that. It's been crazy how dominant the Bills have been against pretty bad teams, but still, they're just whooping up on terrible teams so far this year. Anyone who thought the Bills were going to fall off here from last year are sorely mistaken. So I'm taking the Chiefs there, and it's only because, like I said, I don't know how the Bills are going to do against a good offense. It's weird to go from playing 4 of the bottom 5 or 6 offenses in the NFL to immediately playing the best offense in the NFL. It's quite the discrepancy. It's really random, and I think I'm just making the safe pick of choosing Kansas City this week. Like, I think I just don't have the cojones to really go out there and say Buffalo is going to pull off the upset in this one. So I think I just wanted to play it safe. I know what Mahomes is. The Chiefs score 34 points and people think it's a disappointment. They scored 42 against the Eagles last week and people were like, thought they would have scored more. Felt like they had more opportunities to put points up. They put up 42 and people like just kind of bat an eye at the Kansas City Chiefs. So I will take Kansas City in this one. But this is just going to be like this is a Lane Kiffin get your popcorn ready type of game, because it's Mahomes versus baby Mahomes. It's AFC Championship rematch. This is going to be a really, really fun game. And money line, again, for people who are into the gambling world, money line, I would take the Buffalo Bills with the 3 points or 3.5. I saw somewhere you can get it for 3.5 at this point. I would take the Bills with the money line and bank on that one. I'm just taking the safe pick for the spirit of the pick'em pool, because I'm not going to bet against Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, I think the Bills can do enough defensively to give Patrick Mahomes problems. Tre'Davious White lined up against Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill obviously went off last week with 3 touchdowns. I think that the Bills have a good defensive line with Rousseau, Basham, Oliver, that putting pressure on Mahomes has always been the key there. Can you kind of get him to overthink things, take away his number one option? Of course, he's going to have Kelsey there as a security blanket. No one's going to be really able to cover Travis Kelsey, because Travis Kelsey is literally uncoverable. Given all the factors that I mentioned, I like the Bills. What can I say? I think that they've just been showing that they've been the most consistent, good team outside of that Pittsburgh Steelers loss, which week 1, you can always write it off, because week 1, all 32 teams think that they're competing for a Super Bowl.